The John Sterling Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Well, we're back, and you know what I've been doing, making this wonderful conversation show? I've been having my friends on, because they're all bright, and they all speak beautifully, and I'm going to introduce you to another one of my friends, the longtime voice of the Boston Red Sox, Joe Castiglione. And Joe was a member of the Hall of Fame a couple of years ago now. So we welcome Joe in. And my boy, how are you?
Hey, John, great to chat with you. And we're both in semi-retirement. I miss seeing you, but it's great to be able to chat.
Yeah, this is it for the time being. Now, you're going to do some Red Sox games this year, right?
Well, I did 8 spring training games, and I'm contracted to do 30 events for them. And I will be doing some games later in the season, and I think the hometown inning when we switch booths with enrollment as you did for so many years.
Yeah, the hometown inning. Oh, I love that. I love that idea. Well, let's begin this way. The Red Sox, who are having a tough time, but not really bad. I mean, they're right around 500. And there are, 100 games to go, so nothing is over. People always want it to be over. They want to have finality, but it's not over. Anyway, the Red Sox have brought up 3 very, very talented young players. And I was talking about Willie Mays. You got to struggle before you start. Joe, why don't you give us a scouting report on all those 3 guys? I'd like to find out for myself.
Well, it's very exciting, John. We go back to when Mookie Betts came up with Jackie Bradley and Andrew Benintendi about 10 years ago. And these 3 have great potential. Kristen Campbell made the club out of spring training. He's just in his 3rd pro season out of Georgia Tech, a very fast riser through the system. He is a right-hand batting infielder. He can play center field. He's played mostly second base, a little bit of center and left. And he had a great month of April. He was the American League Rookie of the Month at just over 300, really struggled in May, and that's been continuing, so we'll see if he needs some more seasoning, but he's been playing fairly regularly at second base, at least against left-hand pitchers. Then there's Marcelo Meyer, who is 22 years old, a left-hand batting shortstop out of Southern California, high school kid. He was signed a number 1 pick, and he has hit everywhere he's been in the minor leagues. Left-hand batter, about 6 feet 3 inches tall. He's been playing third base because of the injury to Alex Bregman since he was called up about 10 days ago, and had a 2-home-run game. And after he homered at Yankee Stadium for his first major league home run last Sunday night, and he is a very prized prospect. And the number 1 prospect in the minor leagues was called up just a few days ago, Roman Anthony. And this kid is about 6'3", 220 pounds, left-hand batter, outstanding power, great knowledge of the strike zone, an outfielder, either left or center, although he has played right at Fenway Park, didn't play much there at AAA. But Roman Anthony is said to be the real thing. He had 1 hit so far. I think he's 1 for 15, which was a double to left. But as we all know, what Willie Mays went 0 for 12 before he homered off Warren Spahn.
That's right. And that's why there's always hope. There's great pressure. I remember, Joe, being in Houston when Alex Bregman came up. And a few games, he didn't get a hit. But, I mean, that's not the end of it. Now Alex Bregman is one of the best players in the game. By the way, Marcelo Meyer has power. He might be a power-hitting third baseman, like Devers. It should be noted, all teams have injuries. I don't know what's happened in this era of baseball. And, Joe, we've been in it long enough to know there was a time when people didn't get injured. And now they do. And pitchers get injured, maybe because they're all trying to throw 100 miles an hour. But anyway, for Boston, they lost the corners of their infield. Alex Bregman and Casas, Tristan Casas, left-hand hitter. Well, that's pretty tough to lose power at both corners.
Huge issue, certainly, John. And Tristan Casas' play just sort of tripped over first base, running out a ground ball. and he had ACL surgery, definitely out for the year. He had a slow start, but he's a guy with 35 home run potential.
Yes.
Beginning his third year. Alex Bregman came over as a free agent. He'd been tearing it up. He's a right-hand batter made for Fenway Park, a dead pull hitter, and was leading the league in doubles when he had a quad strain. He is progressing and hopes to be back before the All-Star break. But the Red Sox have really missed him on defense as well as offense, because the Red Sox do lead the league in errors, which is one reason, a big reason, why they're one game under 500.
Yeah, the errors are a lot, and it does drive a manager crazy. And, Joe, I have a subscription to the Boston Globe because they have a great sports section. So I can read the Post, a great sports section, and the Globe. And Cora is very honest. He's a little more honest than some managers. He will say the errors are killing us, and that's why we're losing games.
Yeah, you're right, John. Alex does hold his players accountable, which I think is very good at this day and age because it gives you credibility. And he has clout with players, too. I mean, he's got a 3-year deal, which he's just beginning after taking over in 2018, then, of course, missing a year with the suspension. But he's an in-charge manager, and he does hold the players accountable for playing the game the way it should be played. Starting pitching's been an issue, too, although all of a sudden it's really improved. We saw Garrett Crochet last night spin a beauty, shut out with 1 out of the 9th inning when Aaron Judge in a 1-0 game tied it with a home run. The Red Sox went on to win, but they do have a number 1 starter now in Garrett Crochet, which
sure
many teams don't have.
Yeah, obviously he's terrific. And it took a while for the White Sox to take him out of the bullpen and start him. And he's in Boston. He's going to be their number 1 starter for a while.
As long as he stays healthy, he's the real thing. He holds himself accountable. He's got great power and great command, too. So it's really a luxury to have a number 1 guy. Tanner Houck has been an issue, and so is Brian Bayo, although Bayo won 14 games last year, was very good in his last start. And we'll see him this weekend. The other thing with Houck, it's hard to imagine how he was hit so hard. He had a forearm strain. They put him on the IL because he was probably the number 1 starter going into this season, hasn't won a game. But we think he's going to be back soon, and hopefully he can find his stuff again.
Well, you have a bunch of hard throwers, but I guess, that's the norm, and maybe that's why there are all these injuries. Any idea why there are all these injuries to pitchers?
Well, I agree with you, John. I think they try to throw as hard as they can, as long as they can.
Right.
And it's sort of been Tampa Bay's philosophy, and they blow out, they replace them. Hard to replace outstanding pitchers, especially starters in this day and age. But I think they do try to throw too hard, generally speaking, and maybe they don't throw enough. They don't get out. A lot of pitchers, young pitchers, are not trained to get out of jams themselves and to work deeper into games, and maybe if they threw more, their arms would bounce back quicker.
Joe, I have, and the same people, I have friends like Jim Cott especially, and Bert Blyleven and Tommy John, and they say they don't throw enough. Just what you hit on. They don't throw enough. Jim Cott said, in my day, we used to throw batting practice.
Yeah, they throw batting practice between starts instead of a bullpen session. And I know we see Bert a lot in spring training because he lives in Fort Myers with the Red Sox trade. And Blyleven had 272 complete games. I mean, you're not going to get that for a decade now in Major League Baseball. Every team combined.
Yeah, for some reason, I was looking at, I think someone put it in front of me, something that Catfish Hunter did. And, which to us doesn't seem very long ago that Catfish got signed by the Yanks.
Right.
I remember very well. And because I got a phone call, come out to Shea Stadium where they, in their little offices near Shea, because Yankee Stadium was being redone, the time that Catfish signed on New Year's Eve. Odd time for his signing, but we all got there. And you know how many complete games Hunter had that year? He had 34 complete games. If you added up all the pitchers in the major leagues, you wouldn't get that for the next 5 years.
Oh, they don't even start that many games individually. I think 32 is about the tops, maybe 33 with a 5-man rotation.
Well, the pitching records, the great pitching records, are in the book for forever. No one's winning 300 games again. They don't give you a chance to win the game, and obviously the injuries. You blow that hard for that short a time. I guess there are going to be injuries. It drives baseball crazy. They don't know how to keep their pitchers off the IL.
Yeah, I think babying them is a big reason for that. And, of course, any Twins are going to put them on the IL because the pitcher's only 10 days now. And they want to make sure that their investment pays off. So I think they're overly cautious sometimes.
Oh, I think so, too. I agree. Well, one thing I want to note, because you touched on it, last night Garrett Crochet had a shutout, and he was going to finish, which is a big thing in baseball. Now, he said a big thing is almost unheard of.
Right.
Although Dave Peterson of the Mets did that a few days ago. But anyway, when Judge swung, I knew it was a home run. And he really hit the ball as hard as you can hit it, which is something for Judge. He can hit it harder than anyone. And, you know, for a moment, as it soared over the high wall and over the monster seats and out onto Lansdowne Street, I thought maybe that ball has a chance to hit the thruway.
Yeah, very close to a Mass Pike shot.
That's what it was.
We've seen only a few. I remember one Mark McGuire hit, which ended up on the railroad tracks just in front of the Mass Pike. But this ball was crushed. Garrett Crochet said he did not regret the pitch, which was 99 miles an hour, but he wanted to get it higher, and it was pretty much right down the middle of the plate, right in his zone, and too low, and he nailed it.
Well, it is true. You can see this when the great pitchers are able to keep the ball up at 99, not going to be hit. Maybe popped up or so, but not going to be hit. I remember the year that Washington won the championship. They had to play that one game. What did they call that, Joe? You only had one game to gut or get out.
Elimination game.
Yeah, and they were down, Washington was, in the ninth inning, and Juan Soto was up with 2 outs and men on base, and they couldn't touch Hader. The people got on base because of a walk and a hit batsman and an error, but they couldn't touch him as long as he got the fastball from the mid-chest up or maybe high chest up. They couldn't hit him. Well, you can't throw the ball in the same spot all the time, and finally, in Soto's at bat with 2 outs, 1 out more, and Washington's gone, he got the fastball down, and Soto lined it to right field for a base hit, and Washington won the game, and then went on to win 3 straight series to win the World Series. So Crochet had the right idea. If you throw a fastball the way he throws it up, it's not going to be hit or not going to be hit hard.
Yeah, you have to locate it because the hitters will turn around 100 miles an hour if it's not properly located. We've seen that many times.
It is amazing that they can turn around. I agree with you. Fastballs that might be 100 miles an hour. Seems unbelievable to me. But you know, that's the game we're seeing. It's a very different game. It's a very different game. Although I did see a team recently, Joe, in extra innings with the Manfred man on second base, they actually bunted to get him to third and wound up winning the game. A lot of people don't bunt anymore.
Yeah, that's a lost art, sacrifice bunt especially. And you might see it, in that case, the home team with a score tied, getting the guy to third with 1 out, if they have a guy on deck who's going to make contact. That's not always the case. There's too many strikeouts.
Oh, absolutely. I put a whole premium on putting the ball in play. You don't know if you put it in play if it's going to dunk in somewhere or if it's going to be booted by an infielder. So, Joe, great catching up with you as always. Where are you? Are you in Florida or up in Boston?
No, we're in Boston. We're in Boston, and been to Fenway Park several times. And tonight I'll be listening to the game with Will Fleming and Sean McDonough doing it tonight on Red Sox radio and watching it on TV as well. So
that's what
I'd like
I do.
to get out there and say hello to Susan.
Please. And also say hello to Will. I'm very happy that he got the job after you. I know you wanted him too. And he's a very nice guy and a very good broadcaster. So say hello to everyone for me and make a date. You're going to be on this program again. Good idea?
I love it, John. I love 77 WABC. I was listening to them in the late 50s and throughout the 60s when I was living in Connecticut.
I had Jack Marin on, the ex-Bullet.
Oh, left-hand shooter, right?
Yeah, a left-hand shooter, great shooter. And that's what he said. He said, ABC, I was 14 listening to Cousin Brucey. So
and Dan Ingram, my hero.
Yeah, so it's a good place. I landed at a very, very good address. Joe, thank you as always, and I will hope to see you soon.
Good health to you, John. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.